This week in the field, I commit to a composition and I end up being wrong. Hey everyone, I'm Scott Davenport and welcome to In the Field. Thanks for joining me today. This is the first time you're checking out one of my videos. Thanks for giving me a shot. Hope you like what you see. So today we're going to Bandon Beach in Oregon. I was there at the beginning of November for a couple of weeks, had a couple different groups of photographers come through. I've shared some footage from visits to Oregon last couple of weeks, but I want to share this one in particular because it underscores not a problem, but a challenge that we face when we're out doing landscapes. And so on this particular evening, I had wandered around the beach and found a composition that I liked, and I made a bet on what was going to happen with the light, and I bet wrong. And let me show you the footage and then talk about what I was able to do to try to salvage the situation. It's good to be back on Bandon Beach. I am looking for some nice reflections tonight. A cool bit of stream water here. Nice rocks. And I'm kind of hiding in the shade. This big monster here, which you can't see any of the detail on it because of the high contrast there. I'm going to search around the other side of that one for some more tide pools. Now I know the light's incredibly harsh here right now. But one of the things I'm looking at is I'm kind of walking back and forth, making a wide berth on this so I don't introduce any more footprints into the area. But thinking about when that sun starts to go down, imagine it starting to go down behind this large rock at the right. These other smaller rocks, I got a nice triplet between these two larger ones. That sun hits the edge of that rock, it makes a starburst, and then there's some other interesting things here. It'll be a very monochromatic scene, but with all the sea mist and just the waves moving in and around and some of the shine off the beach, that could be an interesting shot. I'm gonna go to the south here a little bit, kind of, in between these two large rocks, which is a lot farther away than it may look on this video, and see if there's any space or angles kind of shooting back toward the north. As you can see, here's the big flat expanse of the beach. And that large rock on the right was where I was just a few moments ago. Well, sure enough, there is a gap between these rocks here. Although I think this will be a better vantage at sunrise, light up the sides of these rocks. If I frame up like this, it's gonna end up being just really silhouettes. And I would lose some of the depth and dimension. The smaller rock here would get lost in that bigger one as a silhouette. Might be able to coax something out in post-processing, but I'm really just trying to force the issue at that point. So I think I'm going to just, circumambulate this one more time and maybe return to that one composition where I had that nice triplet of rocks and try to line up a starburst as the sun hits the edge of that rock. I've changed my thinking one more time. There are some nice clouds to the east, up over the land there behind me, over this shoulder here. And with the sun going down on my opposite shoulder, there's a possibility that's going to get some color. And instead of maybe fighting and going for that misty look, I think I'm going to try to use this grouping behind me and frame those up so that I'm shooting almost back toward the land. I've got some space. I can get out a little closer to the surf and still have plenty of room to work without getting swallowed up by the ocean. And hope and keep fingers crossed that I'm going to catch a little bit of some nice glow color. All right, that's it. I got to make the decision. I got to go with that for today because I'm running out of time, running out of light. That golden glow is already starting to fade. I'm framed up really close to this foreground rock, and I'm getting everything from what's in the right half here all the way over and including this big rock there. Still optimistic that they'll catch some blues or purples up in there. But if I pan around behind me, I was just shooting down this cove. You can see there's some, well, maybe you can't see. Let's try this. There's a little bit of color up in that sky. And yeah, the sun's only got about another 10 minutes or so to last. So how's the framing on this? You can see the whole shot. You can see f/16. I don't even need the f/16 anymore. I'm just doing that to maximize depth. All that sea mist that's out back there, that is going to make the background soft no matter what. Well, I bet on the wrong horse today. The light just did not catch the sky back toward the land. The show was all behind me, but I had two cameras thankfully, so I was doing some handheld work and then finally planted here to do some final shots. And the sky's lost its color even more now. that's the end of the show for today. And yeah, I'm going to head inside, get something warm to drink. So I'm laughing a little bit after watching that footage. Something I didn't show is when I was photobombed during my ill-fated compositional choice. So I had that set up, the tripod was planted, the 3 rocks were lined up, and a couple came walking along the beach, and they sat down on the 3rd rock to watch sunset. That was a little bit of a bummer. It turned out not to matter as much because for 2 reasons. The color never happened in the sky, and they ended up moving, and we actually ended up chatting for quite a bit of time. They were their first visit to Bandon Beach, and they were just exploring and having a whole bunch of fun. And they ended up saving the shoot for me, in a sense. They walked out to the section of beach that was closer to where the sun was going down, so close to the water's edge. And I had my second camera, so I was able to work handheld and grabbed this photo here. And without the 2 of them in the shot, this is not as good of a photo. It just doesn't tell as much of a story. Their presence in it makes the photo more engaging, and it's because of the sense of scale that comes along. So although I didn't come away with the photo I'd envisioned, I did come away with something I'm very happy with, and was able to actually exchange information with those folks and sent them a copy of the photo, so they've got a nice memory of their first visit to Bandon. I've got a nice photo to share with you, and maybe the tip of the week is perhaps twofold. Sometimes we do choose the wrong setup. We pick the wrong composition or bank on the light doing something, and it doesn't work out. And secondarily, having a second camera to go work something else, even if it's your phone, is a good thing. So, having that second body, second camera, something with a lens on it is always good to have in your pocket. And that will do it for this week's In the Field. I hope you've enjoyed it. And if you did, please let me know somehow. Comments on the video below. Got questions about photography? Love to hear from you. You can leave them in the comments. You can send them to me through my website if you want to keep it private. And until next time, my name is Scott Davenport, and happy shooting.